the basis of crypto is this idea of proof of work. And the idea of proof of work is you exerted an obscene amount of time and energy, or obscene amount of energy and encryption power in order to solve a problem, which then it's a billion times quicker for every other node to validate that you solved the problem, that you did the work. So the asymmetry is the secret to how the network works. And so how do things spread in time? Like, for example, I'm an engineer. I'm not a scientist. Newton, you want geniuses, Newton, Einstein, Mozart, Beethoven. They extracted stuff from the ether that you couldn't do in a million years, that I couldn't do in a million years. If I tried a billion years, I couldn't do it. I mean, for thousands of years, humanity worked without the calculus of variations in calculus. And Newton, that one guy, probably contributed 90% of everything around us. That one person looked up and extracted so much. Physics, astrophysics. Now, took him a lot of work or a lot of something. How about every single math student that came along after him? How long did it take them to figure out that calculus was useful? Like, you think it's hard for me to figure out that calculus is useful? No, an engineer figures it out. I'm an engineer. I'm I'm not, an engineer is not dogmatic or what would be religiously against things that work. Proof of work is like someone did a lot of work, but you don't have to have as much horsepower to figure out that the hash function is right as you did to actually do it in the first place. And that's why this stuff spreads fast, because you did your work, Dan did his work, VJ did his work, right? All the maximalists did their work. Less information, and they had more uncertainty. And so it took a lot more effort. You had to think more deeply. I did my work, but I had a lot more information. It only took me a few months a month to come to the conclusion, because I had a lot more information. Then I invested 20 years worth of earnings in a few weeks, okay? I took 20, you talk about work, right? I took 20 years of energy and I put it on the blockchain in 4 weeks. And then I made it public. I published the hash function, right? And I said, I did all my work. I looked at everybody else's work, and then I printed a block, and my block is $500 million, or actually $600 million worth of energy. That was the total nominal amount of cash I put into the blockchain. And I put it out there, and now I leave it as an issue. If you have $600 million, you can go back and spend 6 years and do what Dan Prince did, or you can do what Vijay Boyapati did, or you can do what Dan Hell did, and you can think about that. Or you can spend the 1 month and you can go to hope.com and read everything Michael Saylor read. Or you can skip that and you can just say, hey, here's a dude that put 600 million into the blockchain because he thinks it's the first true digital monetary network in the history of the world, and it's the Facebook of money. I think what people don't get, not everybody gets, I think they don't realize there's investors out there. They're just looking for an idea this month. I have $10 billion. I have to put 500 million in something. Okay, what's this idea? Okay, guy puts 500 million into Bitcoin. Why? Well, because he thinks it's the ultimate safe haven asset and it's better than gold and it's going to be like Facebook. Yeah, and he put the 500 million in? Yeah, let me read that again. Okay, give me some of that. They don't have to go down the rabbit hole, right? They don't have to do the work that you did any more than a node has to do the work to validate that the block is good. So I think that's why, everything's accelerating. One of the reasons we want to run our own node, and in addition to just generally contributing to network security and selfishly protecting our own interest, we also think that's a great source of clean data. And so we use the node to extract the blockchain, and the blockchain becomes our data set. And that data set is, of course, quite interesting to anybody with the $250 billion of money on the blockchain and all those wallets. We've got some really good technology for manipulating and analyzing data sets. And we've got hyper intelligence technology for creating hypercards that give you insight into those large data sets. And so what you'll see is what we're going to do next is start to release hyper intelligence for the blockchain, or for the Bitcoin blockchain. And I think that'll be interesting to the community. And then make that hyper intelligence available in a SaaS multi-tenant environment, so that anybody can build their own Bitcoin related hypercards in a matter of minutes, and then they can embed them in those applications, and they can use them in order to enrich their offerings or to make better decisions. I think that there's a pretty rich market right now of different companies providing different capabilities, all integrated with the Bitcoin standard, right? And so you've got, for those people that want to self-custody, right? If I'm the crypto anarchist, and I want to be ready for after the zombie apocalypse, whatever, when the internet goes down, there's offerings for them. And that's good. If I want to hold all of my my own monetary energy, there's offerings for them. And if I want extreme privacy, you've got Zcash, you've got Monero. There's a competitive market for privacy, right? And which one will win? Will Zcash win? Will Monero win? Will something else win? Unclear. We will find out. If Bitcoin was known as the network of absolute complete privacy, it would be counterproductive to the interest of Bitcoin. There's a competitive market for crypto banks like Kraken, and they're regulated in Wyoming, and there's KYC obligations. And there's plenty of people that want to buy Bitcoin on a regulated KYC bank, right? I mean, and why would you? Because it's illegal not to. Like I can't go ahead and buy on a decentralized exchange without KYC as a public company officer, right? So Fidelity and Coinbase and Kraken, they all have their place.